Greeting, folks. Today I wanted to talk about a method to retire early that I really haven't heard people talk about before, but it was something I kind of realized. And this is for folks who have saved funds in traditional, pre-tax 401k systems, maybe somewhat pre-tax IRA. But the basic concept is, if you're going to retire early, you need funds early. And if you've been saving into retirement accounts, you can't access those until you're 59 and a half. So if you wanted to retire at 54 or 50 or something earlier, there are methods to get access to your funding, but I found something that is kind of a hybrid that I wanted to share. So it's something to know that if you have a 401k, there's the rule of 55. It's something you can look up, which basically means if you're working at an employer that you separate from in the year you turn 55 or later, where you can start pulling funds from that 401k without the penalty. You still have to pay tax on it, like you would later, but you can access those funds. So the rule of 55 can allow you to retire early, assuming that you have saved enough funds into your pre-tax 401k. There's a rule called a 72T plan, and that will allow you to pull funds out of an IRA that you've saved a bunch of funding into. And basically the rules are, you set up this substantially equal payment program based upon the amount that's in an IRA. You can have multiple IRAs, and you can choose to do that from just a single IRA, or you can set up multiple IRAs that you're going to do 72T plans on. But once it gets set up, you have to take these very equal payments, and the rule is you either have to take them until you're age 59 and a half or 5 years, whichever is longer. So if you're 52 and you pull out a 72T, you've got to do this till you're age 59 and a half. You can't change it. If you do this when you're 57, take out a 72T, you're going to have to be doing that till you're age 62 or 63. You can't change it. So that's one method. Another thing that people will do is they will do Roth conversions. They call it a Roth conversion ladder, where 5 years before you intend to retire, you do a conversion from either a 401k or an IRA, and they convert it to a Roth account. And the rule for Roth is that you can take out your contributions at any time and then use those to live on. But the loophole is, if you do a Roth conversion, you have to wait 5 years before you take the funds out. So contributions, if you're contributing along the way, you can access those any times. But if you convert, you have to wait 5 years. So a Roth conversion ladder is with either an IRA or a 401k. They'll say 5 years before you plan to retire, figure out how much you're going to need to live on, then do a Roth conversion so that 5 years later, when you plan to retire, then you have access to those funds. And so the drawback to a Roth conversion is that it adds extra tax extra income onto you when you're probably in a pretty high tax bracket. And so let's say you're earning $150,000 a year or $200,000 a year or whatever, and you determine you want $100,000 5 years from now. Well, you've got to do a Roth conversion for $100,000, and you're going to add that onto your existing paycheck. So if you're at a $150,000 salary, you bumped yourself up to $250,000. If you're at $200,000, well, now you're at $300,000. So it's a pretty aggressive tax burden on yourself during your high earning years. And so I was kind of pondering on this, and then realized that there's another way to kind of retire early, but you have to kind of think about it longer. And so the way to do this is, within your working career, contribute to the Roth account along with your pre-tax account. And because contributions can be pulled out anytime, let's say you want to retire at age 50, or 54, or whichever year that you want to do this. If you know that you're going to need a certain amount in funding, you can kind of plan to get enough contributions into your Roth account to be able to pull those out early so that you can retire early. But Roth accounts are so nice to have that really you want to push your withdrawals from Roth out as long as possible. So there's kind of a hybrid that you can do. If you have saved enough in your Roth accounts over the years to be able to live on, then here's the hybrid. And I'm assuming that if you're going to retire early, you also have assets outside of your retirement accounts. Maybe not, but for me, I have assets from my brokerage account that get me part way to what I want to do. But then there's this way to use a Roth account. So let's say you need $75,000 to live on. You want to retire early, and you're going to pull $45,000 from dividends and long-term capital gains from your normal brokerage account, but you'd like another $30,000 or $35,000. Maybe it's just in case, or maybe you need that to live, and that's the amount that you're going to be able to pull from your Roth account. So you basically need 5 years that you can pull $35,000 out of your Roth account. And how do you do that? And so I realized if you have saved that much, you can start pulling out of your Roth, but then you don't want to diminish your Roth because, well, that fund is great to have. And so what you can start doing is, after you retire, then do your Roth conversion. Because you're in a lower tax bracket, you're not earning as much from your normal job. And so, like, let's say in year one, you've got $45,000 coming from your normal brokerage account, you need another $35,000 from your Roth. Well, you pull that $35,000 from your Roth account, but then in that year you also do a Roth conversion, so that your balance in your Roth stays the same, and so that you're taxed lower on that conversion than you would have been if you had done that Roth conversion while you're working. So you convert, and then 5 years later you can access the funds in your that you just converted. And so, like, let's say you're trying to retire at age 50. If you have enough saved in a Roth account, you can, for 5 years, pull money out of your Roth contributions, but then you're also starting to do Roth conversions. And then after that 5-year window comes out or goes by, then you can continue to, you can access those funds. And so this is the hybrid, is if you have enough in your Roth that you've contributed, you can start to live off just normal withdrawals from contributions, but then you also want to do Roth conversions. Because you're not working, you'll be in a lower tax bracket, but then that keeps the balance in your Roth from ever going down. It always stays the same amount, but you're playing this tax game. So let's say at age 50 you start pulling funds from your Roth, and you do that for 5 years, but each year you also do a Roth conversion, pulling money out of your pre-tax account. You're in a lower tax bracket, but your Roth account, your Roth balance stays high at the same amount. So this is kind of a hybrid approach. It's not truly a Roth conversion ladder. You've just saved more money into a Roth when you were younger, so that you have enough to maybe bridge that 5-year gap. Contributions come out without penalty any time. If you're converting, you have to wait 5 years before you can access that. So if you have this hybrid approach, you can essentially use your Roth account to retire earlier than you might otherwise, but it requires that you have put funds in both a normal IRA and a Roth IRA or 401k in advance. So that's my thinking. I haven't heard anyone talk about that method before. It's either use Roth conversion ladders, or a 72T plan, or the rule of 55. Haven't heard anyone talk about this hybrid approach where you have both pre-tax retirement account and Roth accounts. And if you can figure out how to live for 5 years with both your investments from your brokerage account or savings, and maybe another portion pulled from your Roth, then as you pull it out of your Roth, if you're also Roth converting, that keeps the balance in your account high, while you also get the funds to live. So kind of an interesting idea. Look over it, think it through. I just thought I'd share that as a new potential way to retire early if you have a Roth account that you've contributed to over the years. So hope you enjoy that. I'm just trying to share ideas and concepts that I have. Like, subscribe. This isn't financial advice. We'll see you. Bye.